Greetings, listeners. I am your host this evening, Zach Barrett, and welcome to the Twisted Gear Studios production. You are about to listen to The Call, our Call of Cthulhu actual playcast GM'd by Derek Snow. The previous report from our investigators. They explore Althea Goodyear's rather large estate, meeting many of the personal staff and taking advantage of the many services offered. Their exploration, however, is not without its strange oddities.
You all head back to the mansion on the hill, Althea Goodyear's home of residence, her palatial family estate.
That sounds like me.
And I believe the plan was to go back, since it's already getting late in the evening, to head back there, have a good night's rest, and then do a foray toward the Chapel of Contemplation, which you heard about from Alistair and Simon.
Sounds about right.
Okay, so
Chapel of Contemplation.
y'all take the Packer Twin 6 and y'all head back to the mansion on the hill. You get there a little bit late. I mean, this is one of those things where nothing happens. It is uneventful. As you arrive back, and Cadbury, of course, is waiting. Just outside the door, as soon as you pull up, he's just sort of standing there with that John Cleese face.
Is it Cadbury? My God.
Yes. The little look of disdain as he looks amongst all of you, except Althea. She belongs here. But
I reciprocate.
Yeah, everything else. And you going? Is there anything you wanted to do this evening other than just go to separate rooms and separate parts of the house?
I would like to have a glass of water.
I was also going to suggest that we have some water. Hydration's very important.
Now, when you said water, did you mean whiskey?
Oh dear.
That's what I'm thinking too. I don't know about y'all.
What's the word I'm looking for? You know, but
I'm going to,
On the rocks,
continue
please.
to just turn a blind eye to all this illegality happening around me and have some actual water.
Were you
please,
not
Cadbury.
in Swill's gullet? I mean,
How could you not want to have a drink after that?
yeah.
There are better things one can do with one's brain than numb it.
Psychology check. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, drink whiskey.
That is numbing.
Yeah.
I feel like he deserves it the most considering he's got a stone embedded in his hand.
that's true. I feel like I deserve it because I've been shot more than I like to be shot normally
There you
on
go.
an average day.
I just missed the drink.
I think we all deserve drinking, personally. I'm not saying anyone doesn't.
I think everyone needs to roll a spot hidden check, actually.
Oh, come
We're at the-
on.
we're
We
at the-
just
You're at the
got
place.
here.
It's not, I'm not trying to put the fear in
my
you.
own
It's just everyone
house.
just needs to make a spot hidden check.
Not trying to.
That's not good, right?
32 out of 36.
4. That's 100.
I know that's 100.
Yeah, that's good though.
Oh, is it?
You want to fail? You probably
You
want to
you
fail.
rolled 100%. You did this before.
I know.
That's you don't notice anything.
Thank you.
Anything.
blind.
I've already lost like enough last run.
Yeah. So Agatha has 100%. Althea, what did you get?
I got 73 out of 37. Oh, look, they're backwards. 73 and 37. Yeah, I failed.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough.
Yep,
And
that does it.
Marion has a 4, and Amos.
32 out of 36 by.
Okay. So you can both put ticks next to spot hidden.
Oh,
Two of the
sweet.
people who succeeded, one of which was an extreme success. But you both notice as you're all talking about whiskey compared to water and laughing amongst yourselves. Cadbury is just maybe 5 feet off to the side of you, and he's looking pretty disapprovingly. And it looks like for the last 10 seconds of conversation, he was trying to get Althea's attention without, touching her or anything else, without shaking her. He was just standing there hoping his glare would make her realize that he would like to talk to her.
Well,
Why don't we all head inside, and you can figure out amongst yourselves if you would like water or an actual glass of water. But Althea, I think there was something you needed to fix with your car, and we'll meet you inside. And I kind of just sort of start ushering people inside.
It's all yours, man. And then I pat Cadbury on the shoulder, knowing that he doesn't like it, and go inside.
I just follow suit because I just want my glass of water.
He noticeably flinches from Amos's touch.
That's all I ask.
Amos is used to this sort of thing.
I kind of give him like a smile and nod as I walk as I walk in, but I'm assuming I am not nearly worth his notice.
So, once everyone else heads in, and Althea, you're still out on the front step, and Cadbury's still sort of standing there, and he's like, ma'am, when it comes to the whiskey, I'm assuming that your guests, and it even has a sound of disdain the way he says it, your guests, I'm assuming that we would be giving them the low-tier whiskey.
Well, I would say
gonna make or break
normally
friendships
that would
here.
be the case.
Yes.
However,
Oh.
It's been a very long few days. The longest I remember since my father passed away, actually. So, we're going to break out a slightly higher tier. One bottle, however. Only one. I mean, I have money, but I don't have that much.
Well, yeah, yes, of course, there's a plethora of whiskeys hidden all around the estate.
Of course there are.
Yes. So you would like a mid-tier whiskey then, am I understanding correctly?
At minimum, yes.
At minimum. Yes, mid-tier it is. Yes, I agree. I agree completely, ma'am. I agree completely. The other issue that I have to bring up is even with your friends, are they going to be permanent? I mean, should we set up the rooms and properly have them cleaned profusely every morning?
Cadbury.
Yes, ma'am.
They're going to be here quite a bit, Cadbury.
Yes, ma'am.
Get used to it, Cadbury.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then I walk into the house.
And he says, "No, excuse me, ma'am, and I do need to talk to you about just one more thing. Just a Mr. Skeet Wilsonbottom may have noticed the whiskeys and stuff all around, and he has sort of taken it upon himself. He doesn't. I don't know how to say this, ma'am. He doesn't trust alcohol that comes in bottles with labels on it. So I am pretty sure from some of the copper tubing and other things that he has requisitioned from around the house, that he is probably making a still or two to make a better alcoholic product. Quite the young entrepreneur Mr. Skeet is. Is that okay as well? I'm just worried about him blowing up the estate.
Yes, that would be bad. I will have a word with him before we have a Copperhead Road
Yes.
situation on our hands.
Yes.
I'll have a word with him. Don't worry about it. Leave it to me.
Will he have his own room as well? Lately he's just been taking to sleeping in the garage.
I have a feeling that is probably where he feels most comfortable.
Yes, apparently he is also making a treehouse on the property.
That's fine.
We're not sure where he's getting the wood, but I'm sure he's getting it somewhere. I know he's not cutting down trees. He might be taking it from lesser used areas of the house. But he is planning on starting. I saw some plans on napkins and such. But that is the extent of... I will show your guests every courtesy befitting their station, ma'am.
I did not say... Thin ice, Cadbury. Thin ice.
Yes, ma'am.
Such a...
I will meet you inside, ma'am. And he just starts walking in ahead of you to go inside of the mansion.
All right, I guess...
If you didn't
I
need
guess
him to run the entire house.
I guess once I make sure that the other three have settled down, that the first thing I need to do is go and find Skeet.
Well, wouldn't you know it, I do require a listen check as you are heading inside the house.
Just Althea or all of us?
Just Althea, because everyone else has gone in.
I got a 35 out of 20, so I hear nothing.
So you head inside the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
So as you enter in, Cadbury ushers you all to the bar area. So there's... And he takes
this
you...
is what I'm talking about.
He takes you to another wing of the house, and just to step outside of the game for a second. Anyone who has seen the movie The Shining, the ballroom with the bar, it's very similar to that. And he walks in and walks behind the bar and just waits for you to come up and ask for your orders. You do notice he takes a couple of bottles off the top rack and puts them underneath as you're walking up to the bar.
Huh. I'll sit in one of the chairs and I'll take whiskey on the rocks there, please, sir.
Yes. Would that be ice cubes or actual rocks, sir? Ha 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 ha. As he just goes and he...
As he's pouring the drink, I'm gonna make a joke about you're not gonna spit in that, are you?
No. Would never dream of it, sir.
He had better not.
Not while he's looking, of course. And then he does give you quite the prodigious amount. He fills up a glass, a little bit of ice cubes, and slides it over. And anyone else who's having alcohol other than Amos.
I am totally.
Or would it just be whiskey?
Basically, yes.
Yes. Yeah. And he does the same for you.
Nope.
And water, I'm assuming for Marion?
Thank you, Cadbury.
Yes. And Althea.
I'm just sitting here looking very uncomfortable.
Yeah, whiskey.
You notice he reaches under the bar and takes out a separate bottle, and pours you a glass and slides it over.
That's fine. I'm not gonna break his upper crust anytime soon, so.
I look disapprovingly.
I don't care. I haven't had this in a long time.
So, if there's anything you would like to discuss with each other, or would we just like to say you have a few drinks?
So, how about those brothers, eh?
I have to go find Skeet.
I know what you want to talk about there, Agatha. Have at her. I'm sure they are strapping bachelors.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm only a detective after all.
You did seem particularly friendly with them.
Particularly.
Oh, come on. Can you blame me? I'm, 38 years old? I'm not young. I'm not getting younger anyway.
I mean, I'm only 39. Well, but what about you? They're around your age, though.
No, well, how old were they? I don't remember.
I believe I described them to be in their 30s or early 40s. Yes, they look young.
Well, I mean, I have no preference either way.
Yeah, but men can get away with, being older with younger women.
You see Cadbury just sort of run his hands through his hair.
How old are you, Cadbury?
52, sir. 52.
Yeah, you look it.
Are you married?
No, ma'am. My whole life is devoted to the care and upkeep of the Goodyear family home.
Oh my.
Yes. Some things have changed,
Yeah.
but my role and the rest of the staff's role stays the same.
How do you find it?
It's good. It's mostly quiet. No real issues. Every now and then, of course, Althea, since she has taken over, has brought cadavers and such around. But other than that,
I wouldn't call us cadavers. We're not quite that bad yet.
No, not yet, sir. Not
We've heard
yet.
of her hobbies, but
Yes.
enough on that. Just tell me, Cadbury, what do you think of Althea's chances with a strapping academic gentleman?
Al, and he just looks a little bit shocked, and he's like, Althea.
Agatha's chances with a strapping academic
Yeah,
gentleman.
Althea couldn't care less.
Yeah, she really couldn't.
Well, I'm sure that any strapping young man would do Agatha some good.
You're darn right.
For
go.
sure.
Mouth.
For sure, I'm sure he would do some good. I mean, she's quite the academic. Since you guys have been here, I have reached out to some contacts and pulled out some files to see, of course.
Some files?
Files?
Oh, to make sure that none of you were taking advantage of Althea.
You did
in
a
other ways.
background check on us?
Well, yes, and any good butler would do that sort of
Hell,
thing.
I've done a background check.
Yeah.
sort
We
of.
couldn't find much about you, sir, which is good.
Sounds about right.
No news is good news.
I
it's not bad.
suppose. Don't you generally spend time in unsavory parts?
Generally.
I would
Is there
just
a question in there? Another one?
I would just have thought that
As
as
he
a
pops
as a
up everyone's
detective, one would want to have a bit of news about you, just to spread the word about your business.
I have enough business as it is. I'm not hurting for more clientele.
How
I was
does
also gonna say, like, wouldn't you kind of want to make sure that your business was that nobody knew your business, because that makes you a good detective?
Well, that's kind of more along the lines of word of mouth is as powerful as it needs to be.
where do your cases generally come from?
Well, the Boston area.
No, I mean, do you hear from the police? Do you hear from ordinary citizens?
I've got resources, some of which I am not allowed to say, but what I can say is that word of mouth is a very, very powerful tool. Referrals are something I am allowed to say. I can say referrals.
Interesting.
Yeah.
At this moment, you all hear the double doors leading into the ballroom / bar, sort of slam open. And in struts Skeet. And he has a pile of looks like black soot all along the right side of his face. And he has his coveralls on, clearly nothing on underneath. And he has one of the buttons undone, so it's flapped over, and he's dragging mud in. He's
Cadbury, what'd you do to the poor man?
He's like, oh, Cad's worth, yes. If you could get me some of that low end stuff, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff, yes. As he starts walking on up, you notice his voice is a little bit different. Like he's finding it, like his tongue is swollen or something. He's finding it a little bit harder to talk. As he sort of walks up, and Cadbury's just glaring at him.
Skeet, what the heck just happened? So I'm gonna take like a napkin and try to like wipe the whatever is on his face off, like kind of mothering him a little bit. Cause
It looks quite resilient, whatever's on him. It doesn't just come off with a wipe. Even though when you wipe down with your handkerchief or whatever, it does come back black. But yet the black is still on the black soot is still mostly, he's just more rubbing it around his face more than anything else. As he's just standing there and looking at you quizzically, and he's just taking it, just like, And he looks over at Althea and Cadbury. Whoa, maybe so.
Althea's
Are
not
you
there.
all right?
Oh,
Because I said I was going to look for Skeet.
okay, fair enough.
I can follow the mud trail back in.
No, we'll leave you out of it for now.
oh dear.
Yes. As long as you, so I decided to set up a still. I decided to set up a still.
Oh dear, that's Skeets. That could be dangerous.
This
There's
is the
a
third one that's
bar
blown
here.
up.
The third.
I know I've only been here a few days, but
Wait, in the past few days, this is the third?
I don't think you should be drinking anything right now. Maybe just a glass of water for him, please, Cadbury. And I take out my handkerchief and I'm also trying to like see if I can help clean him off. Because oh dear.
at this point, Althea, you walk back into the ballroom / bar after seeing the pile of mud on the floor and following the mud trail. And as you walk into the ballroom, you can see Skeet sitting down, and Agatha is trying to wipe stuff off of his face, and Cadbury seems to be giving him water, and Skeet doesn't know what's going on.
Althea, I believe he may have a concussion.
I got no notions.
I can do a.
You were caught in an explosion.
Would it be a first aid check or a medicine check?
Sure, you can go up and do a first aid check.
This man is the hardiest individual I've ever met.
I got a 98 out of 60, so he seems fine to me.
Skeet's fit as a fiddle.
Skeet Wilson Bottom.
And it seems like maybe he's trying to do his best Cadbury impersonation. Because he sort of looks at you and he sort of straightens himself up. Because you have given him work. And he's like, yes, ma'am.
Multiple things. One.
What's multiple mean, ma'am?
One.
Holy hell.
One, yes.
You do not build any more stills on my property.
Yes, ma'am.
Never
I
lose a
will
good round,
not
dear.
build any more stills on your property.
And you're going to dismantle the ones that are here. And you're going to tell me where you got the parts for all of them.
I found them around, ma'am. I swear, I found them around. I don't know. I found them around.
Skeet.
Listen to me, Ducky. I never took them out of anywhere that didn't need to be. There used to be a shed out in but near the woods, so I dismantled it and I took all the parts from that.
Was there anything inside the shed?
No, just parts.
Parts of what?
Still parts?
This man's logic is astounding.
Yes.
You were a true American treasure, sir.
Thank you. He puffs his chest up and he's like, I'm a treasure.
When I say that and he reacts that way, I look at Althea and I go, cheers.
I also continue to take a drink as well because
Skeet.
this guy's impressive.
If you do not dismantle whatever you have built and stop building anything further, you will not be employed any longer.
And you all see this profound sadness come upon Skeet's face as he just looks over at Althea and says, but not the treehouse, ma'am. That's gonna be my home.
The treehouse is fine. Just let me provide the wood for it, and please tell me where you've been getting it so far.
Stop. There might have been 2 sheds, ma'am. There might have been 2 sheds.
All right, that's
Oh,
better than
dear
chopping
goodness.
down any of my
Holy
trees.
Christ.
The trees are not easily replaceable. Please do not cut down any trees.
I would never do that, ma'am. I would never
would-
cut down trees.
Okay.
I would never do it. Lord Hunter and I'd never do it.
What part of the world are you from?
Bit of everywhere, wherever the accents just pick up and I don't know where they come from and they go to, and I might sound different all the time. The doctor said it was a linguistics problem with me. I don't know. I don't even know if he was a doctor.
He's speaking in tongues.
He came in a wagon.
All right.
All right, Skeet, do we have a deal? No more stills. You let me provide the lumber for your treehouse, and I'll walk in around behind the bar and pick a bottle up off of the low rack, and I'll pull the label off of it and put it in front of it. And you can drink this whiskey. No more stills. No more stills, okay?
Fair enough, ma'am. Fair enough. How did you know my favorite kind? As he looks at the no-labeled bottle of whiskey.
Are you sure that's a good idea right now?
Yes, it's the best idea.
He just lost all of his stills. Give that man something.
Yep.
But he's
Is that
gained a
still-
home.
You can go back to you can just hang out in the treehouse for now. Take the bottle with you. It's fine.
And he just takes it and saunters off. You notice he's limping slightly. Yeah, as he sort of heads out of the room.
And still
I
not-
wish to one day be as self-efficient as that man.
And still
Oh, I hope not.
The weirdest person I've had in this house.
What?
Really?
What?
Well, granted, those people were dead.
I was
Anyway.
just gonna say the dead don't count, but she beat me to it by that much.
Anyway.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Cheers.
L'chaim. Take a drink.
I might just
Well,
take a
damn.
wander around my house and stuff while I finish my drink.
I'll sleep with
And
the
it's
glass.
nice and quiet.
I'm just gonna go to my room with the glass as well and just go to sleep. It's been a rough
I can
couple
stare
weeks.
at portraits of my parents in silence. Contemplation.
Okay, so fair enough. So
Right, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. I'm gonna Bruce Wayne the
I'll just
shit out
think
of this
his
place.
massive phantasm.
So is everyone going to bed except Althea?
Just a quick question: we've been here for a few days at least prior to? So do you have a study or a library or?
Yeah. I imagine my library looks like the one out of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, it's
Holy
it's a
You could
massive
probably build
library.
a treehouse in there.
Okay, I'm going to go there and I'm going to see if I can find any a local map or local information about this Church of Contemplation for before we go there.
Sure.
I'm not going to spend too long at it, maybe an hour or two,
Okay.
and then before I go to bed.
Okay, fair enough. And that would be Marion. So Amos and Agatha, what would you like to do before you go to bed, or would you just like to go to bed? You have permanent rooms here now.
Oh.
Damn.
I just kind of want to get slightly tipsy and walk around this place to see how big it is.
I'm gonna join her in that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm also going to prepare a letter to my landlord canceling my rent because I can't afford to keep that up if I have another place to stay.
Fair enough.
Ooh,
Do we officially know that we're here, like, without an end term?
As you're all getting ready to go to say you're heading off to do whatever, Cadbury does mention and give each of you a key
nice.
to your bedroom, not the house.
Oh.
Now, are we in Arkham or Boston? We're in Boston.
You're in Boston.
We're in Boston.
So one of the things I'm going to have to do tomorrow is go to my place and get my other 3 suits.
Cadbury just... What'd you say? Your 3 suits. Cadbury's like, oh.
I know, unfortunately, none of them will fit you, bub. Sorry.
There might be some more suits. And he sort of looks at Althea, is giving the look of, I'm trying. There may be other suits. You are around the same frame as Althea's father.
Oh, well,
There are some other suits.
I'd hate to inconvenience you.
Perhaps we can have one made for him.
Uh,
Couple made.
Yes, ma'am. I will bring in the family tailor for
Althea, this
next few
is
days.
really becoming too much. We can't keep accepting your charity like this.
I mostly just spend my money on myself and
We really
Cadavers.
can, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Speak for yourself.
I mean, don't feel like we're not... I'm very appreciative, and you really don't have to do any of that.
I know.
But it is very nice of you, thank you.
And
I know.
we very much appreciate the place to stay.
Yeah, especially that one.
Yeah.
Well, the house is large enough so that, if at any time our company is not particularly pleasing to one another, I can just disappear for a while.
Well, and
Actually, I can do that anyway.
I kind of address this to both Althea and Cadbury. It's like, please let me know if there's anything I can do to help out or to contribute in some way. This is quite a lot. This is very, very much, yeah. And I just look very uncomfortable.
Yeah, if you ever need to find out why a dead body was dead, I'm your dude. I can help out. I'm here.
It's usually what I'm figuring out. But you can observe if you like.
Sure.
I can help in any capacity if you need an assistant.
And as you keep talking, Cadbury fills up all of your glasses again.
God
All right.
damn, I love
I'm
this
going
place.
to take my glass and just, I'm going for a walk.
Okay.
I head to the library.
All
I
right,
want to hatch
dearie.
a plan with you to steal the good stuff from underneath the bar.
I am so in.
Perfect.
So nice to you. Now they're going to steal your whiskey.
Well,
They don't know that they have to replace it yet.
We're going to... So you all sort of go your separate ways. And we'll start with Amos and Agatha, who you wander out, probably still holding your glass of whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Allison.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Each of you with your full glasses of whiskey. And start stumbling around. So are you planning on circling back to the ballroom? Is that the
That
plan?
would be. That's probably.
I'm cool with exploring. I've got the whiskey. I'm not like hankering.
Yeah,
I can't miss what I've never had before. So I mean,
That's true. Well, let's walk around and then see how we feel about stealing a bottle of whiskey.
well,
I still want to steal a bottle of whiskey.
I want to stick it to Cadbury, but I don't want to stick it to Althea. It's kind of my.
Okay, fine. We won't get the
Yeah.
good stuff. We'll just get another one, but steal it from underneath his nose.
I gotta think of something that's more Cadbury-esque. I don't know, man.
Prank him.
Keep in mind, it's prohibition, so the low tier is still expensive right now.
Oh yeah, it's all pricey.
Fine.
Like I said, I don't know what the expensive stuff tastes like, so I don't know what I'm missing. But I do want to screw with Cadbury.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, what kind of weird stuff do we find in the house?
I would like you both to roll a luck roll.
Ooh.
Oh. 72 of 72.
9.
Oh my god. You freaking win.
Yep. 9.
9.
out of 59,
You
but-
both succeeded on the luck roll. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
so you were both wandering around the house, and there's parts of the house that are cordoned off because nobody uses it because there isn't enough people here.
Right. No, makes sense.
But having a few drinks in you, you just wander past some flagging and stuff that has these areas marked off to do a little bit of exploring. And just checking doors to see, and you open up a few rooms, and they just furniture like sitting rooms, and there's a couple of bedrooms. They just have white cloths and other things laid over all the furniture and anything, as it's all locked up. Mm-hmm. Till you come to a door, and you're been wandering for an hour, a little bit lost. It seems like this place is a little bit of a maze sometimes, and the door is locked. You haven't ran across a locked door yet in this house, but the door is locked.
I hold his whiskey and see what his lock picking skills are like.
Mm-hmm. You do notice that there seems to be it feels like there's a slight draft coming from under the door.
Cold, warm?
Cold.
Cold, okay.
A little bit cold, yes.
First things first, I'll try and take a look through the locks. I assume that they're old enough that you can actually peek through the keyholes on these doors.
Okay, so you get down and you look in, and you notice that you can't peek through. It seems that there's a guard that moves when you turn the key.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you want to see what's inside?
I totally want to see what's inside.
You don't want to?
I totally do. Sorry,
All right.
I had a couple drinks, fine.
Is there anyone nearby at all?
No, you're in an area of the palatial estate that nobody's
Locksmithing
probably...
it
There's
is.
dust and
We
stuff
got an
everywhere.
echo in the wall.
Say blacksmithing?
Locksmithing.
Oh, locksmithing.
Mm-hmm.
I got 22 out of 66.
Put a tick next to...
Yes, sir, Bob.
as chink, 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 and you fiddle in with it for around 5 minutes. The way the guard, it's an older type of lock, but the way the guard is installed, it's something you haven't seen. So it takes you a little bit of fidgeting around, and you manage to get that click,
Ah.
and the door is unlocked. Still closed, but
Jackpot.
it is unlocked.
All right. Time to see where the cold draft's coming from?
Absolutely.
All right.
I hand you back your drink.
Oh, thank you very much, ma'am. And I slowly open the door, kind of peeking in as I'm slowly opening it.
Mm-hmm. So you slowly open it, and you're peeking in, and it looks to be a stairway heading down. The steps seem to be stone, not wood. And
What the
it's
run?
pitch dark. It is night. There's no lights over here. So except for the main windows, with the main, so the windows are allowing the moonlight shining in as you've been walking around. But down these steps, it's dark.
Don't you have a lighter, Mr. Smoker?
I do. I grab the lighter and I tink.
Yeah, you flick your Zippo style of lighter,
Oh, my dude.
so you can just hold it.
Oh, it's right here. Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Sound
All right.
And I'm assuming you start walking down.
Oh, yeah, we are. I'm sorry.
I roll for
Are we-
alcoholism. Yeah, we keep going.
I was going to say
Okay.
they've been drinking. Apparently, nothing that has happened previously would keep them
No,
from walking
really
down
quickly,
a cold,
really-
dark stone stairway.
Okay.
Right quick, before we can you just wait outside the door for 2 seconds? No, hang on. I can pick the lock. I need to just make sure something. This has happened before. I just don't want it happening to me again. Just stay here, and I keep you inside the door, and I close the door on you.
Oh, okay.
Does it open again?
From your side?
From my side.
Open it again. Open it from the inside.
So I'm gonna try to open it from. I'm in the stairwell.
You're in the stairwell?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to open it. It won't open.
No, it won't open.
Ooh, good check, man.
So then I open the door.
Yeah,
Can
and
I
it just
open
opens. It just opens, yeah. And once you just take a quick look on the other side, you can only unlock the door from this side. You're not sure about the way the guard is in place. You can't even use a key or pick it from
Is
that
there
side.
anything we can stick in the door? Not the door jamb, but you know the little. I don't know what it's actually called, but where the latch actually locks into. Is there any way we can stick something in there?
Yes. If you have something, you can just...
What do I do? Spot hidden? Not spot hidden. Can I take a look around and see if I can find anything that would be acceptable to put in there?
Sure. But while you're doing that, I'm going to move on
Yeah.
to Althea, who you're just going for a walk around your estate.
Yeah, I was gonna maybe take a walk down to I imagine I have a family art portrait gallery sort of thing.
Well, now you
course
do.
you do.
Yeah.
Of course, now you do. Yes, with all those creepy relatives from so many years gone past.
of good years.
The kind of portraits with eyes follow you as you
Yes,
walk
that
down the
exactly.
hallway.
This is what this house sounds like, and I'm creepy as well, so that would make sense.
Yeah. So you go to one of the studies, which actually has a lot of painted portraits of family members throughout the years. Yes, it was your father's study.
I'll just, kind of take a slow walk around the room, looking at all the photos and stuff, and I'll stop at the one of my parents and myself. A big picture of myself when I was quite young, since my mother died when I was quite young.
Yes. Yes.
And I'll just kind of stand there for a second, quietly looking and say, it's kind of nice to have people in the house again.
Oh.
And then I'll down the rest of the glass of whiskey that I'm carrying.
While we're breaking into a locked
And
door.
I'll just, it's my father's study, so I'll just sit. I'll just light some candles or whatever and just sit in his big chair and just kind of relax for a little bit.
Sure.
Like a safe space, kind of.
Yeah. Sure.
Hopefully, a safe space.
Yeah, fair enough. As you're sitting down and relaxing and enjoying the peace and contentment of sitting here, and everything seems to be okay. But then all of a sudden you just get this feeling like you just get this anxiety, this feeling of anxiety out of nowhere. You can't place it. You have no idea where it's coming from, but just out of nowhere, and you've never felt that type of thing sitting in your father's study before. But it's just quick, and it's fleeting. It's only for a second, and then it goes away.
Okay. I'll just kind of take a glance around the room, looking behind the wings of the chair I'm sitting in and stuff like that.
I want you to roll a spot hidden.
It's my own house, man. Don't do this to me. I'm just kidding. That is a 17 out of 37 this time.
You need to put a tick.
Yes,
Damn.
I do.
As you're just sort of looking around, you notice your father's desk. And as you're sort of looking around the chair and you're looking around, you notice that underneath and to the side to the desk, there seems to be a little latch, like a little lever.
And I'll get up from the chair and go over and.
Well, you're on the chair behind the
that's
desk.
true.
And
Yep. And it's a large desk, so I can still stand up anyway, and go over and just kind of feel alongside there and just flick it. Flick the latch.
you flick it, and it sort of slots down like a secret drawer that's underneath the desk. And you click it down, it folds down. And there seems to be a leather-bound book. There's no writing on the outside.
If it's yellow, I swear to God.
It's not yellow.
I'll take it out because I'm not aware of anything like this that my father had that I'm not already aware of, having gone through his belongings after he passed away. Okay, I'll take it out and then I'll sit back down in the chair and open it up.
Yeah, so the first thing you notice is on the inside cover is your grandfather's name.
Yeah.
Aloysius Goodyear. Aloysius Goodyear.
Aloysius?
Aloysius Goodyear.
My God, why did we get so bad at names?
And
See,
his
like
name is in the
alliteration.
side, and you notice that it's a pile of sketches. And as you're flicking through it, there is some writing, but it's in a language you don't understand. It doesn't even look like a language. It just seems like hand scratches and symbols and stuff like that. And it's really hard to pick out in some of the corners of it. But it seems to be sketches of the house
Okay.
and some sketches of maybe some other buildings that you're not familiar with. But you find that you're just looking at it and you can't really pick it apart. You can't.
Okay.
It would take you a fair amount of study to figure out what it is.
Okay. It's a bit strange. I don't recall And I'm going to close it and bind it up again.
Before anything else, though, I would like you to roll a idea roll.
Okay.
That should be under intelligence.
Yeah. Ooh, 91 out of 70. So.
Oh, not just of yet. Yes, not yet. Fair enough.
So I'm just going to put it together, like close it up and stuff, and just kind of sit there for a second. And I'm going to go to where I kept all my father's journals and start pulling them out and flicking through them and see if he mentions anything about my grandfather in general.
It would take you, so I'm going to call that a library use check.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So we can just...
Yep. Nope, 83 out of 40.
Yes, you spend the next, half hour, 45 minutes
Yep.
Scouring through some of your father's journals. And then you do realize as you're sort of going through it, your father never really mentioned much about your grandfather. He was never really brought up. You did not know him.
No. There is a portrait of him in the study here.
And then you notice there isn't. And then you recall you've never seen a portrait of your grandfather.
Okay.
It's weird, I know, but it's just...
Okay.
Yeah. He's a bit of an enigma in your family.
I'll take the journal with me, and I'm gonna grab my empty glass, put out the candle light and stuff like that, and I'm gonna leave the study and make my way up for the night, because I'm the type of person who's like, you really should probably have some sleep if you want to think logically about anything.
Sure. And I'm going to move on to Marion,
Okay.
who you go to the library,
Yep.
and it's the Beauty and the Beast library. I'm not even gonna joke. It is massive, books upon books.
So pretty.
Yeah. And what were you going to start looking for?
I'm going to look for information about this Chapel of Contemplation.
Sure.
So I might start with a local map, or if there are newspapers, or maybe a book of local history, just to see if I can find any information about it.
Fair enough. That is also going to be a library use check, especially in this library, to track everything down, or anything.
That is a 13 out of 70.
So put a tick next to
Out of
library
70?
use.
Oh, I know books.
Holy heavens. Mine's 60. I put a lot of points in the library use.
So you notice that this is a really well-stocked library. As in, there are people on staff who go and collect newspaper clippings and everything else. They
Wow.
bring them here to the library. The library is pretty up to date.
Is that extreme for you?
Is it?
Yes, it is an
Yeah.
extreme success. Yeah. And it's basically, this library is very similar to the Hall of Records.
Wow.
And stuff like that. You can track, with enough time, you can track almost anything
Damn,
down,
Althea.
especially to do in the Boston area. Not really much outside of it, but when it comes to who owns what, who originally owned what, and stuff along that. So, with your extreme library use roll, you practically stumble upon a book about and newspaper clippings about the Church of Contemplation. It's pretty easy for you to track down, and the main reason it's pretty easy for you to track down is it looks like it was left out, like somebody had looked over it within the last however long since somebody's been in here. Okay? The owner of the Chapel of Contemplation was the Reverend Michael Thomas, pastor of the Chapel of Contemplation. And then you notice that isn't the full name, because the actual record stated it's the Chapel of Contemplation and Church of Our Lord Granter of Secrets.
Oh.
And it does state that the chapel was closed in 1912 pending a criminal investigation.
Does it say what type of criminal investigation?
As you look through some of the newspaper clippings around that time period, you do notice that there was a police raid in regards that members of the church were responsible for the disappearances of neighborhood children.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
And apparently during the raid, 3 policemen and 21 cult members were killed by gunfire.
Are there the names of those policemen?
No. No, this is just the newspaper article, and the names aren't in there.
What about the families of the missing children?
No.
Okay.
That's not in there as well. Another newspaper clipping states that Pastor Michael Thomas, or the Reverend Michael Thomas, was arrested and sentenced to 40 years in prison on 5 counts of second-degree murder. But there's nothing to back up who he killed, how he killed them. You're not sure if it's denoting to the children that disappeared.
So he said 5 counts?
5 counts. And then the last newspaper article states that he had escaped from prison in 1917.
Ooh. Did it say how many children? Do the numbers match up?
It didn't say how many children disappeared, just that there's disappearances of neighborhood children.
Right.
Yeah. And apparently it's been closed up ever since.
Okay.
Yes.
Does the church does it say who owns it now, or is it just abandoned?
So, with an extreme check, I'm giving you a lot of information because you did succeed this in an extreme check. You do find a record of ownership after this fact. It seems like, especially the Goodyear family, really keeps track of who owns what.
Huh.
You've never seen something set up quite like this, but who owns what? And apparently, in 1917, it was purchased by a Mr. Walter Corbett.
Oh.
What? Owned which? The chapel?
Yes, the land, the Chapel of Contemplation and Church of Our Lord, Keeper of Secrets, is owned by a Mr. Walter Corbett, Esquire, bought in 1917. Good lever use.
Anonymous tip, eh?
This isn't the same. Oh, I'm not there.
Yeah.
No, you're doing something much worse. Doing something much worse.
Yep.
But I'm going to say that does take you a few hours to
That's
collect,
fair.
even with an extreme check.
Yep.
Wow.
Then we go back
Mind
to Agatha and Amos. Yes, so you start walking down.
Wait,
Oh, no.
No,
You
hell no.
actually just roll me a luck roll to find something the exact size that'll fit in there.
7%.
Yeah, I don't know if I should call that lucky because you do find something that you can fit into the deadbolt hole.
And it won't pop out.
Yeah, so it can't lock because it can't click.
And she can open it from the other side.
Yeah,
but we
once you
haven't
put it
opened
in, the
for
door sort of swings freely to a point.
Do I know of the nearest place where I can find like a flashlight? I know we used to have a flashlight.
Yeah, you do recall seeing flashlights and other implements in the lab,
Do we want
and
to
actually in the front foyer.
How far away is it?
You are not entirely sure because you are a little bit lost in the house.
And there's no other light sources, like no torches or anything else that could light this hallway.
You
in
have
the
a
middle of
lighter.
the day?
People don't.
That
keep,
doesn't go far.
People generally don't keep torches on the walls in their
No,
house.
like candles or like sticks, like just.
Yeah, there's. Oh no,
Yeah,
you can
what
find a
would-
candle.
Yeah,
A
what would-
candle holder, not a problem.
Yeah.
All right, let's grab a candle each.
Okay.
'Cause, yeah, let's
Grab a
keep the
candle
lighter
each,
just in
and I'm
case.
gonna stick one in my back pocket, or in a pocket of mine, just in case.
Sure. You light your candle. Are you both lighting a candle?
Yeah.
You need little
I
candle
am.
holders.
And then I have a spare in my pocket,
Yeah.
so.
Okay,
I'll have-
cool.
So,
And
yes.
you start
As
walking
long as the
down
door
the
don't
stairs.
close behind us. Yep.
Okay, so you walk down around 5 steps, and it continues to go down. You can feel this cold draft for whatever reason. It continues to
This
go
is
down.
might unsettling.
But on 5 steps, who's leading?
I guess Me?
I want to say, well, we're kind of equal, but if you want to be slightly ahead of me, sure.
She was way too okay with that.
So you step on the 5th step, and it depresses slightly, and the door closes. But you don't hear it click because you blocked where the bolt goes. Like but the door itself just closes.
Well, that clearly means that they didn't want anybody to leave.
Can you just check to make sure the door still opens?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just quickly answered.
Yeah, and it doesn't click closed. It's just because you have things stuffed in there.
Is this a straight down staircase or is it a spiral?
It seems like it's going on a 45-degree angle, just straight down. And the candle only really shows maybe 10, 12 feet as you're going down, and it seems to just continue going down.
I'm going to be much more cautious going down, knowing that at least one step depresses. Who knows what else can happen? And I'm keeping an eye on the walls and the stairs and the ceiling.
Basically, I think what we'll do is wherever you step, I'll step too.
Let's go with that.
Yeah,
That's
let's
a
do
great
that.
idea.
Gonna
That's
trigger
it.
some
Well,
Indiana Jones style traps.
I'm slowly still sipping my whiskey.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I step on that thing, it depresses, the door closes, we check it opens, and just go, well, shit.
Okay.
And we keep...
You go for
going.
another around 20, 25 feet. And then it comes to a turn. So it seems...
A curve or like a solid, like a...
It's a curve that goes 180, and then the stairs continue down. It went down, turned, and the stairs continue down on the other side.
Agatha,
Yes.
you got that spare candle on you?
I do.
Can I have it for a sec, please?
Sure.
I light it and I throw it down the stairs.
Okay. So you light the candle and you...
I want to see how far down it goes.
Okay. So... Yeah. Basically, as you throw it, it goes down maybe around 30 feet. And then it looks like another turn. It just lands. And then the candle does go out.
It goes out.
Well, you're...
You threw a
threw it.
candle. It's just a flame.
So
guess.
you do get to sort of see that it does go down and then does another turn.
Do you think Althea knows about this? Because
Uh,
Why wouldn't you? Not there.
I don't know. We didn't even try the keys the Cadbury gave us on that door, eh?
no.
Well, that
Stop
was
obsessing
smart.
with the door. It's not gonna lock. Don't worry about it. Take another sip of whiskey.
No,
I
what I'm wondering is if our keys don't unlock it, then that tells us a little bit more about the door. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you also threw my full candle where we could have cut it in half and wicked it down and still have a half candle up with us.
I saw it land, right?
Yeah.
We can go and get the candle.
Yes, and then I start walking down the stairs.
I wait on this platform as she goes to get the candle, and I drink the whiskey.
Okay, so you go down the full 35, 40 feet down to the landing, and
I got
you
liquid courage, man.
yeah, because you've been drinking, and you realize that Amos isn't with you, and you look up, and he's just standing up at the sort of the turning point of the last one.
And I kind
Come
of
on,
vocalize
sir. You
down
got
to
the
her, I'm
stone
like,
of destiny in your hand. Just come with me.
Yeah, and you're down there, and you get your candle, and you as you're going down, and you start looking for your candle, I should say. You don't see a candle on the landing.
Okay, and I don't notice this. I'm just like, well, no, I'm kind of with you on the idea of maybe talking to Althea about this whole hidden basement thing.
Where the heck did you throw my candle, man?
Down where you're standing.
Yeah,
It's not here.
Amos, you did recall that it came to a stop. It's just the way it
Did-
hit
did
and
it-
went out,
Did
but
it stop exactly where she's standing?
pretty much.
You're drunk.
Well, you're not wrong. And
Yeah,
so
I know I'm not
anyway,
wrong.
I'm a little peeved because I lost half my candle.
You lost the whole
stock.
candle, actually.
Well, half my candle stock. Shh.
Very good.
And I'm gonna start walking back up to it.
Agatha, I'd like you to make a luck roll.
Oh no! Shit! 31 out of 72.
Very good.
Why would you say it like that?
That's always a bad
Very
sign.
good.
Why would you say it like that?
Stairs don't turn into a slide or something.
Yes.
Yeah, so just as you're about to step off, Because basically the way it turns, so the stairs go down, it's like a little half.
Like a plateau thing.
Yeah, like a plateau, and then it goes down the other way. Just as you're about to start heading back up, the air that's drafting up stops feeling cold, and just for a quick second it felt like it was warm.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to being cold. The draft. For you.
That probably unnerves me enough that I'm just gonna be like, "Ha, Amos, I'm heading back up to you." Ha! And I start kind of jogging back up towards Amos.
I just look at you weird. I thought, what was that about liquid courage?
No, it's fine. There's nothing down there. We should probably go. Yeah, let's go. Mm-hmm.
Psychology.
Sure. Go ahead, Amos. Roll the psychology check.
9 out
9.
of 35.
Are you kidding me?
That's what it said.
So Agatha, basically with his psychology roll, it's just you can let Amos know if you're frightened or what the issue is.
I don't know if it's like too much of the drink, but I was down there and I felt a little warm, and then it got cold again, and it felt like, would I be accurate?
You're having hot flashes.
No, I'm not. Wow. I'm not that old. Excuse you.
Oh, spin.
Sorry to all of those 38-year-olds out there on behalf of my player friend.
Wow.
Would I be right in thinking that it was like a breath?
You could feel that it was like a breath.
Oh, okay.
Especially
all right, so,
with a candle down.
right.
Deep
Okay.
with a
So
breeze. You could feel that way. You're not sure if it is, but the fear might make you think that.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna describe it in this way. I'm gonna say it almost felt like the house breathed. I don't know. It could be the drink. It's dark. I like bed. I think bedtime.
I give her my glass and I pull out the camera.
And as you're still on that landing now,
Yeah.
something comes flying out from below.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Call. Our next episode of The Call will air Tuesday, June 4th. Tuesday, May 28th, is the next episode of Spacers, our Starfinder actual playcast. The game system used today was The Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition by Chaosium. Music in this episode was licensed through Video Copilot, sound effects and ambient tracks licensed through Triune Films, Video Copilot, and Sirenscape. You can find all of Twisted Gear Studios' podcasts on YouTube, Google Play, Apple Music, and Spotify. Please follow and like Twisted Gear Studios on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Twisted Gear. Your players this evening were Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, Zach Barrett, and Elizabeth Wells. Your audio operator tonight was Rob Hickey, and your GM or keeper this evening was Derek Snow. If you happen to be in the Fort McMurray area, you can find me at Tavern on Main every Monday at 7:30 p.m. for trivia. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.